Ooh. Woo! All right. We are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? How are you all doing today? Yeah, I'm back for another walk at the trail, and I feel good. I feel fantastic. You know, love being out here. How do I put it any better than that, right? And yeah, I'll say the last couple of days have been rather interesting for me and my lady. It's all good stuff. It's all stuff that we've been working on and working through, and you know, just planning for the future. And sometimes the emotions get in the way and stuff like that. And hey, that's just life. That's just the way it goes. I gotta wait here. I've got a lot of people coming, cars, people walking the other way. They planned it right when I was about to come through the area. The cavalry all comes in at once. Is that my beautiful lady? Happy Monday, everyone. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally is in the house. Hey, babe, how you doing? How's the audio and video, babe? Are we doing all right? Yeah, when you're trying to get things in order, to have a life with a special someone, and you both are working hard to get things in the right place. Sometimes other things just, pop up, and you gotta switch gears, and it's challenging. But when you really love someone, when you are a loving couple and you really love each other, you find ways to work through anything and everything. Yes, baby, you look and sound great. Oh, I don't only sound good, I look good too. Well, are you talking about the video quality, baby, or are you talking about me? I mean, baby, baby, you know, after the last few days of everything we've encountered and worked through and all that, I need a good laugh. I think you do too, baby. I love you, babe. I'll go public and say that all damn day long and all night long too. I gotta tell you, there's no woman on the face of this planet like my woman. No woman could ever replace her, ever. Period. And I mean that, baby. I'm not trying to toot your horn or kiss your ass or suck up to you. I'm just saying, like, baby, you are seriously, literally one of a kind. And that's what makes you special, That's the definition of special. One of a kind, right? Anyway, before we get to the here today, we're going to be talking about hot and cold attitudes, and how hot and cold attitudes really affect you and everyone else around you, and how to immediately fix a hot and cold attitude to turn your life around, right? So I want to share an interesting story at the beginning of this stream, and because this type of thing is still fairly new, and maybe some of you have encountered the same thing, but cars nowadays have the touch screens, right? They're called the infotainment system. I mean, every car company calls it something different, but it's pretty much called an infotainment system, like an entertainment system with information about your car. You can use Google Maps on it. You can use Apple Maps and Waze and some other programs, right, to show the navigation on the touchscreen of your car, so that way you don't have to glance at your phone. It's right there, right? And there's Bluetooth and, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and you can sync your phone to it and all this and that, right? It's a great thing. And I believe that all cars 2016 and older, sorry, 2016 and newer, all cars, I believe 2016 and newer, are required to have reverse cameras by law. So, all companies are just putting in infotainment systems now in their cars, and it's a great selling point. And it also has a reverse camera. Reverse cameras are great, I gotta tell you. They're great, right? And my lady and I both have the infotainment system in our cars. I have an iPhone, so I've been using Apple CarPlay for years, right? With, virtually no problems. Sometimes, it freezes and you have to, unplug your phone and plug it back in. But that's how computers work, right? These things in your cars now, they're like having a computer in your car, right? Baby, are you still there? Let me know if I have to reset the chat or not. Let me know if you're still there. So yeah, these things they're like a computer, right? And mine's worked with no issues. And my lady got a new car a little over a year ago. I think about 6 months before her and I met. And yes, I'm here. Okay, cool. Thanks, babe. And her car, had the infotainment system on there, and I had asked her, I'm like, do you use, because she has an Android phone, she has a Samsung Galaxy, right? Do you use Android Auto, right? And what is that? Well, you can connect your phone to your car, and instead of using Google Maps on your phone, you can have it show up on your car's screen, bigger and easier to view while you're driving, right? So I got her phone plugged in there. This was like, oh gosh, like shortly after we started dating 10 months ago. Plugged it in, it worked. She was able to use it, right? Then all of a sudden, it was really interesting. One night, she got a flat tire on the way home from work, and that was the last night her infotainment system was working. So the USB receptacle, where every car has a data port. Now some cars you can connect through Wi-Fi too, but most cars, they have a data port where you can hook up your phone, where it'll allow the infotainment system to access your iPhone or Android, right? And then it'll also charge your phone at the same time. And what a lot of people don't realize is that because it draws power, to send the stuff to to send information to the infotainment system, it draws power from the phone. And a lot of the data ports that are used, to deliver the information from your phone to the infotainment unit, they don't have as much power. They have like in my car, it has a 1.5 amp maximum charging capability, while plugged in to use a data port, right? And most people now use a 2.4 to 3.0 amps, twice as fast, right? So basically, when I use my infotainment system, my phone still does charge, but it charges a lot slower because it's a slower charging port, plus it sucks a little bit more power to feed the infotainment system, right? So my lady's infotainment system stopped working, and we were trying to troubleshoot it all this time. We were reading online. We tried different cables, different USB cables, right? It's a USB-A port, and since she has an Android, it's a USB-C on the bottom. So we tried different USB-A to USB-C cables, right? That didn't work. Kept reading. We did I believe I tried to do a factory reset on her infotainment unit, because her infotainment unit, the radio works and the display works. So the display is all good, right? It's just that, she can no longer charge her phone or send the data or charge her phone or use Android Auto on her infotainment system. So I read, other people had issues on this online, and they said it's the actual little USB receptacle that is the issue, right? So it was about a month ago or so. I said, babe, I'm just going to order you a new USB receptacle and change that. It's going to be real simple, right? Ordered the part, right? And then went in her car, took the old one out. There's a power cable and then a data cable that attached to, this USB receptacle, right? Took it off the old one, put in the new one, plugged in her phone, started charging for a second, and then it stopped charging. It was like intermittently charging. And we're like, what the hell's going on, right? Then I checked all her fuses. All of her fuses were good. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? I mean, what is wrong with this thing? Why will it not detect the damn Android Auto, her Samsung phone? I even tried, connecting my iPhone to see if Apple CarPlay would work. It wouldn't even detect or charge my phone. So the last thing left to do is take the car to the dealer. Now, I hate getting, paying for shit that's broken at the dealer, especially if you don't have a warranty. My lady's car is a used car, and she doesn't have, it's a newer used car, but she doesn't have a warranty on it, right? So anything goes wrong, she has to pay out of pocket. She got a really good deal on the car, though, right? And so, last week we made an appointment, and her appointment was today. And she was at my place, left early in the morning and got to her appointment. I told my lady, give me a call along the way to let me know, what it's going to cost just to, look at it, just to diagnose the issue, right? Give me a second, folks. I'm going to reset the channel. All right, we should be back live. So, I told my lady to call me and let me know what it was going to cost to diagnose the car, because you pay to have it diagnosed. They put the computer on it and it gives some error code, right? And then in this case, they may have to just remove the infotainment system, which is going to take them 2 or 3 minutes. These people know what they're doing. These mechanics, they're certified mechanics, right? For the vehicle type, right? So my lady gets there and then she calls me back 10, 15 minutes later, $200 to diagnose it. I'm shit, $200 just to diagnose it, to put the computer thing on, to tell them what's wrong with it, right? And then they're going to break it down. It takes a few seconds, right? All right. So I told her, I said, babe, check it out. Or let them check it out, right? And if it costs $400 or less to fix it, go ahead and do it. If it costs anything more, then we're not going to do it, right? My lady calls me back like half hour later. And they told her, it's going to cost $1,100 to fix it. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? That's highway fucking robbery, right? It is. And I asked my lady to tell me what was going on with it, and she said that, it needs to have the whole infotainment system needs to be replaced. Blah 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 blah. They have to order the part. It's gonna take a few days, and then they have it broken down, and then they'll get the part, and then they'll fix it. So you won't be without a car. Oh, sorry, you'll be without a car for a few days, and $1,100 coming out of your pocket, right? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. Your screen works. Your radio works. Okay? Your other USB, you have a cigarette lighter port that works through a USB cigarette lighter adapter, and it was working, right? So I had my lady call, the service guy back that was handling her car, and I wanted to speak with him. And I said, is this common? Does this happen in these cars? Because the screen works and everything works. I replaced the other part myself with the USB receptacle and all that. And he's like, yeah, this it's a computer. Sometimes it gives us an error code, and we're not able to reset that. And I'm listening very carefully to what this guy's saying, right? Because here's the thing. If the system was totally fried, right? If the system was totally fried, the screen wouldn't even turn on, right? And the radio wouldn't even work, okay? Now, what I'm thinking the problem is, there's probably like a data receptacle in there or something like that that separately attaches to it, because her Bluetooth's also not working. So it's like, I guess this handles the Bluetooth, it handles other data such as, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, right? But this guy's saying they had to replace the whole entire unit, right? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, the whole entire unit shouldn't have to be replaced. It should just be that one part, right? And that one part, you could probably get the part online for under $100. So that one part, that's probably $100 or less, right? Maybe a Bluetooth receptacle and a data port, right? $100. Let's say $200. Let's even say $300, right? Just for shits and giggles, right? So if that part costs even $300, sorry, to replace the Bluetooth receptacle and the data port. On the flip side, attached to the actual screen of the infotainment unit, right? Between our $200 fee to get it diagnosed and $300 for parts, that's $500. Are you telling me it costs $600 fucking dollars in labor to do a quick, job combined that's going to take less than an hour? You got to be fucking kidding me. That's fucking highway robbery, pardon my French, right? I told the guy on the phone, I said, I want to get, I'm sorry, we're going to get a second opinion, so we're not going to do it, right? And even if the whole entire infotainment system needed to be replaced, come on. Do they really jack up the prices on these things that much? Screens are cheap nowadays, right? You go to the dealership and they jack up the prices. It's highway robbery, right? Even if what the guy said was true about the reason why it's not working, which I don't know whether to believe him or not. But even if it were true, $1,100, what justifies that, right? And a lot of times, what dealerships will do is they'll replace the entire unit, even if only one small part needs to be replaced that could easily be replaced. They'll do it because they can sell that unit, make a profit off that unit, and make an extra hour of labor on top of that, right? So again, I told my lady, I said, just pay the $200. They diagnosed it. You got to pay that, and don't do it. I will figure it out for you. We'll go somewhere else. I'm gonna try to find a place that fixes infotainment systems, that are not a dealership. Dealerships are gonna rip you off. Highway robbery. The only time dealerships don't rip you off is when you have your car's original warranty, right? Because then they charge that back to the company. So I have a Honda, right? If something goes wrong with my car during the warranty period, they'll fix it. They won't charge me anything. They'll charge the Honda Corporation, right? But if you have to pay things out of pocket, god damn, they rip you off. Highway robbery. So yeah, that's what we were dealing with today. That's why I got a late start. I've been trying to help my lady, take care of some odds and ends, so we don't have to worry about those things. because her and I have bigger and better plans for our entire future, business and personal, right? So that's how my day started today. But besides that, my lady and I had a great weekend. We went to a nice restaurant. Well, it's basically a restaurant in a town called Woodside, which is a very, very expensive area to live in. They have nice homes there. It's the city where Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs, that started Apple, used to live. He had a big mansion there. And as you're going up Highway 84, past Woodside, and then you get into a town called La Honda, which is, halfway to the coast, that you could take that road to go to Highway 1 and get to the Pacific Coast, right? There's a restaurant there that bikers go to and locals go to. They have really, really good food, and it's a really, really awesome environment surrounded by a ton of redwood trees. It's beautiful. It's called Alice's Restaurant. And my lady and I went there. We had some great food, drinks, and just had a really, really nice time. Went to the coast after that. The road was kind of windy. My lady didn't expect it to be windy, and kind of freaked her out a little bit. Sorry about that, babe. But had a great time with my lady, and it was just it was a good weekend. Yeah, we had some conversations that got a little emotional, put it that way. But you know what? Her and I always work through everything. Every time we have an emotional conversation, it just brings us closer together. It bonds us even more. So that's that. Hopefully your weekend went well as well. All right, I'm going to reset the chat one more time, then get to the topic. Still around, baby? Hang on, babe. I'll be right back. All right, we should be back live. We should be back live. All right. Babe, check down below. I believe this is episode number 326. Oh, sorry, 328. Sorry, it's 328. Let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful Redwood City, California. This is episode number 328. Episode number 328. And the topic today is, my lady says, yes it is. Thanks, baby. The topic is, your hot and cold behavior is affecting others. How is your hot and cold behavior affecting others? And here's how to fix it immediately, right? Your hot and cold behavior affects others, right? It affects you too, but it affects others, right? Which affects you in return, right? How to immediately turn this around, how to immediately fix it. See, folks, a lot of the things I talk about out here on my channels on YouTube, you can turn these things around very quickly and very easily if you choose to do so, right? It's up to you if you choose to do so, right? Whatever you want to do, you can do it at any moment. It's just up to you to choose to do it at that moment, right? And most people are stubborn, right? Most people hate admitting their faults and their flaws. And until you can admit your faults and your flaws, you can't fix anything because you don't even realize shit's broken, right? That's the cold hard truth, right? And when it comes to hot and cold behavior, let me tell you, I'm not saying that I don't have hot and cold moments still. I think everyone does. I think the best of us, no matter how much we've turned our lives around, no matter how strong we've become, right? No matter how secure and emotionally stable we've become, I think the best of us are going to have some hot and cold moments every now and then, and that's normal, that's okay. But if you're constantly hot and cold, you know, kind of like when you ever get one of those, you ever go in like an older hotel room, or let's say if you live in an older house or apartment, and you take a shower, right, and the water fluctuates from hot to cold, like all of a sudden it's warm, and then all of a sudden, like one of your neighbors, or, you know, if you're in an apartment complex, and the water heater is shared, let's say, okay, and your neighbors, or if you're in a hotel, and the room next door starts to use the hot water, it pulls your hot water, and then it fluctuates from hot to cold, right? And you're like, shit, I'm freezing, right? And then what you do to compensate for it, you turn up the hot water, and then all of a sudden, the person next to the room to yours turns off the shower, and now your water gets so hot it's burning you, right? And that's annoying as fuck, right? Tell me I'm wrong. That's the most annoying thing, right? The hot and cold water fluctuation of your shower, right? Now, most newer places have that issue handled a lot better, right? Water systems, water heaters, everything's become a lot better in the modern world, but some of the older systems, yeah, it fluctuates, right? Well, when it comes to people's attitudes, okay, and people's attitudes are fluctuating hot and cold all day, every day, right? It gets pretty annoying to deal with people like that, right? And I'm not going to come out here and talk about this topic without first admitting how hot and cold I used to be. And at times I can still be hot and cold, don't get me wrong. But I'm a lot better at being more consistent nowadays than I was in my younger days. In my younger days, man, I was hot and cold like a mother, right? I got to share a story. I think my lady will get a kick out of this, right? And then I got to tell you what I did to my friend in revenge. I was a little shit when I was younger, and I can be a little shit at times nowadays. But I've grown up for the most part. But you guys remember the days of America Online, AOL? AOL used to allow screen names of 10 characters or less, right? Numbers, letters, and symbols, right? And then all of a sudden they changed it to where they allowed like 16 characters, or 16 or 20. I think it was 16, right? And I didn't even realize what trolling was till I came out here on YouTube about 5.5 years ago on my first channel. But looking back, like my friend was trolling me on what do you call it? On AOL, America Online, because America Online, they pretty much started the instant messaging world. Well, that was internet relay chat, but America Online made instant messaging famous, right? Everybody was on AOL back in the 90s, right? Like the mid to late 90s, right? Some of the early users, maybe early 90s, right? But the mid to late 90s, that was the AOL era, right? And those were the days where I wasn't as mature. I'm not going to say I was completely emotionally unstable, but, I used to, in those days, I used to act like a female dog more often than I do today, okay? Let's just put it that way, okay? So next thing you know, I get an instant message. I get an instant message from somebody with the screen name Hot and Cold Eli Melas. It was spelled H-O-T, the letter N, C-O-L-D-E-L-I-M-E-L-A-S. I get an I am from somebody that has a screen name of hot and cold instead of, because they couldn't fit it in. They had to replace the word and with N. Hot and cold Eli Melas, right? And I got a good laugh at it, but it triggered me at the same time because that kind of shit would trigger me back then, right? And they were messing with me for a little while until my friend Brett, I've talked about this guy before, I used to live with him. I'm not going to share that story again today, but this is my former friend Brett. He was trolling me on AOL with the hot and cold Eli Melas account. So what did I do? What did I do to him? I'll admit this today. I don't care. I only did this one time in my life, and I'll admit I was triggered over the hot and cold Eli Melas account, right? And how old was I back then? Shit, I was in my early 20s, right? Late teens, early 20s, right? Not as mature as I am today, obviously. All right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna reset the chat. I'll be right back. Lady was saying it's pretty funny. Are you saying, baby, that screen name that my friend Brett created in AOL back then, hot and cold Eli Melas, that's pretty funny, huh? I'll laugh about it today. I was triggered back then. I'm not gonna lie. I was triggered as fuck. So I kind of pulled a trolling move, right? I kind of did something I really shouldn't have done, right? So what did I do? I created this profile and made up some chick's name, right? And went on the internet and found pictures of this really hot chick, right? And then I messaged my friend Brett, and I was talking with him, pretending to be her, right? And I had him hook, line, and sinker, right? So, yeah, we were talking for like a couple hours, right? And then the next day, I made some plans. This fake chick that was actually me made some plans to meet with my friend Brett, like at some bar or something that was like 40 minutes away from where he lives. And that's bad. I mean, I would never do this shit nowadays, and I regret doing what I did back then. But it was just rather comical, right? I was young and stupid, right? So, so Brett gets on his way. And that was the days where cell phones were like first, starting to come out. Ended up calling Brett while he was on his way to some chick. And he's like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, what's going on with you, dude? You driving? Yeah, dude, I'm going to go meet some chick right now. She's pretty hot." And I was like, "Oh, really? What's new, dude? You just love to hook up and stuff." "Oh, yeah, dude, this chick is really super hot, man. I've been talking with her on AOL, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Oh, my God." That sucks. Right. So I let him go. And he gets there, right? And he's waiting around for like half an hour. And basically, he ends up leaving, calls me and says, "Dude, the chick flaked on me, dude. The chick didn't show up." I'm like, "Sorry to hear about that, dude. Hey, sometimes that happens. Chicks nowadays, right?" And he goes home and tries to message, because I saw that account, tries to message the fake account of this chick, right? And basically, what ended up happening was I just ended up blocking him, right? And then about like 6 months later, I ended up telling him the truth. I'm like, "Dude, your hot and cold Eli Melas account triggered me. I'm sorry, dude. That was stupid. I'll never do that again. I've never done anything like that again. And it was really stupid, right? But the truth of the matter is, the reason why I even share that story is because, as much as I hate to admit it, I was hot and cold. You know, when I was younger, I would whine and complain like a female dog, right? I would exude more feminine energy than masculine energy. I can look back on myself now with the knowledge and experience I have to be able to identify it, but back then I had no idea I was acting that way. And that's part of the issue with people that are going through these things, or if you're younger and inexperienced, you don't realize how you're coming off, right? And even for me, having a great masculine role model in the house, my father, and a feminine role model, my mother, even having a great upbringing, I didn't realize that sometimes even the best of us are a little bit or quite oblivious, right? Baby, if you're still listening to this, I'm telling you, baby, I had a lot of work to do on myself to get to where I'm at today. And I'm still a work in progress each and every day. But I own it, and I look back at those days and I'm like, holy shit, who the hell was that guy? Right? I was hot and cold, right? If I didn't get my way, I would pout like a female dog, woo, 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 right? And my friends would call me out. And it got so bad, they created an AOL screen name, Hot and Cold Eli Melas, right? Now, any accounts people create like that here in the chat, they'll just be banned immediately, and I'll block that word. So, you know, that's what people do. They listen to what I say intently, and then they create screen names. Someone's going to create the Hot and Cold Eli Melas account on YouTube, right? Maybe by the end of the show. That's how pathetic some people are, right? But anyway, I'm almost halfway through this walk here. I didn't realize how annoying I was to be around, how depressing I was to be around. Okay? I didn't realize how much life I was sucking out of my friends just to be around me, all because I was hot and cold. I was fluctuating. My emotions as a man were fluctuating all the time. I was not consistent with my emotions like most men, like all men should be, right? And with no disrespect to women, I was acting like a woman, right? Because it's more normal for women. Somebody did the observation deck. So I'm just going to turn around. It's more normal for women to be hot and cold with their emotions because that's part of their normal and natural biology. But it's normal to a certain extent. Some women that are hot and cold 24/7, and every little thing you say to them makes them hot and cold, then that's not normal. Then that's something that needs to be addressed clinically, psychologically, etc., right? And that's why I'm talking about this topic here today, because, you know, I've been through this. And you know, in my younger days, I did go to therapy. I think I did mention my childhood therapist's name when I was younger. His name was Dr. Bienenstock, you know. And so, you know, I did go through childhood therapy therapy in childhood because I didn't even realize, you know, I was behaving this way like in grammar school, right? And even somewhat this way in high school, right? And it really wasn't until I saw my friends starting to behave this way and it annoyed me that I realized what was annoying me about my friends is the same thing that was annoying them about me, right? In essence, they were behaving like I was behaving. They started behaving like I was behaving, and it irritated me. So I'm like, oh shit. Man, man, this is annoying, but shit, I've been acting this way too. I got to get my shit together. I got to become more consistent, right? And here's the thing. For both men and women, okay, being consistent is one of the most important things. And, you know, being in a happy and healthy emotional state is where it starts, right? Your emotional state is very important because, you know, your emotional state affects how you react to things or don't react to things, right? When you're hot and cold with your emotions, right, all the time, something is affecting your emotional state and mental state constantly, right? And typically, what affects it is unhappiness within yourself, like I've always said, or unresolved trauma, right? And I'll tell you this, folks. There's an article that my lady sent me last night that I'm going to be doing on Coach Eli 2 very soon. I don't know. The next time I go live on Coach Eli 2, I'm going to be reading this article. And I forgot exactly how it was labeled, but it's going to really, really explain when you're dealing with people that are hot and cold, even if you're trying to help them, there's a right and a wrong way to help them, right? And this article opened up my fucking eyes, I gotta tell you. And I'm gonna swallow my pride, and I'm gonna come out here today in front of the whole world and say, baby, you were right. My lady was right. Because there are times, every time, I love her. All I want to do is protect her from danger and take her pain away. That's what a good man does for a woman he loves. He wants to protect her and take her pain away. And even though my intentions are pure, I haven't been doing it the right way. Even though I thought I was, and my intentions have been to do it the right way, right? Because when I help my lady and I try to protect her and take her pain away, a lot of times it annoys the living shit out of her, right? And I'm like, I don't get it. I love this woman. I'd do anything for her, right? I'll start singing some Bruno Mars. I would catch a grenade for you, throw my hand on a blade for you, I'd jump in front of a train for you. You know I'd do anything for you. I would go through all this pain. That's right, take a bullet straight through my brain. Yes, I would die for you, baby. But you won't do the same. Well, I'm not going to say that because my woman, she'll argue that and she'll win. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and challenge my woman when I know she's right. I'm not going to challenge her when I know she's right. Because she would do the same thing for me I would do for her. And that's part of what really kind of gets to me, because these women nowadays, including my woman, like, they want to be feminine, but they also want to be masculine. They also want to fucking do everything men have always done, right? They want to do masculine things, right? And I get it, right? It's funny, like with my lady, I want to protect her. She wants to protect me. And I get it, right? But it's like, what makes me feel like a man is just protecting my lady and her feeling safe and comfortable, right? But she goes out there in the battlefield and battles for me. I've never had any woman do that for me. I'm like, this woman does that. But I will swallow my pride when I do this next show on Coach Eli 2, which is going to be coming soon. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it tonight. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But you're going to want to stick around for the very next show on Coach Eli 2. It's going to make a lot of sense. It's going to make a lot of sense. Let me reset the chat and I'll be right back. All right, we're back live. We're back live at 4 in the box, 4 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Share this out on your community tabs on YouTube. Share this out on social media. And make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications here on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. And then also subscribe to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes in the chat, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. Also, some of you may be waiting for part 3, or many of you may be waiting for part 3 of the Millennial Special my lady and I have been doing. We were going to do part 3 either last night or this morning. It just ended up not happening. Just a lot of things came up, and that's what happens, you know. Sometimes things come up out of the blue. And that's another reason, you know, while my lady and I get some of our personal things sorted out. It's nothing bad. It's just there's a lot going on. We're trying to sort it out in a good way. That's why we stopped scheduling live streams and we just go live at a moment's notice, right? Because that way we're not late, and that way no one complains. That way, you know, we don't have to sit there and feel rushed to get started on time and feel bad about not starting on time. We just go live when we go live, and people that are subscribed and have banged the bell and selected all notifications, if you're around the time we go live, you get the notification, you can join us, and now you can watch it on the replay, right? So yeah, I'm assuming that we'll end up doing part 3 of the Millennial Show, maybe sometime tomorrow, maybe during the day, or maybe in the early evening tomorrow. I know we've kind of gotten off our schedule of doing the morning shows, but I'm just telling you folks, life happens, and you know, when you're planning for the future with an amazing woman you've been dating for over a year, you're trying to get many things situated to clear the path for a smooth transition, right? Right? Isn't that right, baby? That's right. Inside thing from the past. Nothing further needs to be mentioned. It's all good. And see, you know, learning how to not be hot and cold, becoming more consistent, is going to help you in all aspects of life, work and personal, right? You know, if you're a guy and you're guys, honestly, I'm going to be honest. Guys really shouldn't be hot and cold at all. I can understand women being hot and cold every now and then as part of their normal biological essence of responding to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment, right? That is perfectly normal for women, but for guys, for real strong men, it is not really normal, or it's not masculine for you to be hot and cold at all, right? Because women are looking at you for your emotional strength, right? On top of your physical strength, right? And because women are naturally and normally a little hot and cold, they're looking at you to not be hot and cold so you can balance that out and help them become less hot and cold, right? Because as a man, if your emotions are going up and down and you're hot and cold, right? A woman's already hot and cold. Normal emotions will get extremely hot and cold, and then it's going to be like, oh shit, like World War III, right? And you don't want that to happen, right? And I'll tell you, I mean, even to the best of us, like myself, like I'm not perfect, right? I understand relationships and women and dating as best as possible. But even the best of us, sometimes we lose our shit, we make mistakes, right? And we get a little hot and cold. And for me, sometimes I'll even get a little hot and cold with my lady, right? And when I get a little hot and cold with my lady, she gets really hot and cold. You see how important it is for a man to not be hot and cold? Because it really affects your woman, right? NCS Queen says, Eli, how you doing, NCS Queen? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today? How was your weekend, by the way? Hey, NC says respectfully, maturely, and professionally. Hey, babe, have you heard most of the show? And what are your thoughts, babe, about what I'm saying so far? What are your thoughts about what I'm saying so far, babe? Does it make sense? I mean, I want to ask you as my lady, as a strong woman that has many moments of being hot and cold, baby. Baby, let me ask you a question, baby. Are you hot and cold at times, baby? She'll be honest with us here. I'm asking my lady if she's hot and cold. Hey, at least I admitted I was hot and cold more so when I was younger. I shared a pretty funny story. Baby, tell me you were thoroughly entertained by that story. But that fake AOL account my friend made many years ago, Hot and Cold Eli Melas. That really triggered the shit out of me back then. And I'm laughing about it now because it was just, not only was it stupid, and they were right. I was hot and cold. I was whining like a female black lab. Right? I was whining like any female dog. I chose black labs because I like black labs. My ex used to have a female black lab, and that was like the nicest dog in the world. Like her black lab never whined, actually. I've never known of any female dog that never whined, right? Her female black lab never whined one time. And I tried to trigger her on purpose. Instead of she and she was very ladylike. That was Mabel dog, right? Mabel Bitch, right? Right? I would tease Mabel, and every so often, instead of whining, Mabel would go grrr. She would do this like under the breath growl, like a pathetic weak growl, trying to say, "Hey, dude, you're trying to trigger me. It's not worth my time to yell at you or whine. I'm a real classy lady dog, and you're not gonna get to me, right?" That's what she was saying, like in dog speak, right? And because of that, I had mad respect for that dog. That dog's in a better place now, but shit, I had mad respect for Mabel. And my ex Dana named her Mabel. I go, "Why the hell do you name her Mabel?" She goes, "I wanted to give her an old lady's name because she's so chill." I'm like, all right, that that makes sense. Now, my current lady's dogs, they're both male. She's got a little tiny male dog that whines worse than any female dog I've ever seen. Like, baby, your male dog is a big whiner. Actually, you want to know something, baby? Your male dog reminds me a lot of me when I was like in my teens and maybe even my early 20s. So take your male dog's whining, baby. And that's how I was back in those days. Baby, I'm not saying that my roots haven't always been the same. I've always been a good guy. But when it comes to emotional strength and emotional self-control and emotional awareness, right? And emotional stability, it's like night and day. I'm a totally different man nowadays when it comes to that. And guys build up to that. For many guys, they build up for it. They build up to it by the time they become an adult, 18 to 20. But for a lot of modern guys nowadays, sometimes they don't build up to that until their mid to late 20s or early 30s, right? It's a really, really nice day. It's a very, very nice day out here today. So again, like I said, it's very important. It's very important for men to try to not be hot and cold at all. Again, we're all human. men and women are gonna all have, we're all gonna have hot and cold moments, right? But again, for men, the fewer you have, or if you have no hot and cold moments at all, the more you're going to be respected, especially by the woman that you're dating or married to, right? Because women are going to naturally have, like I said earlier, they're going to always naturally have hot and cold moments all day, every day, because they respond to everything emotionally first. They process their emotions differently than men do, right? And they're looking at us men to balance that out, right? But like I said, even though it's more normal for women to have hot and cold moments, more often throughout the days, right? Okay. There comes a point in time where a woman can be so over the top hot and cold where that's not normal. And at that point, there could be trauma involved and, unresolved issues in the past involved. And at that point, that needs to be looked into by a psychologist, and it may require some medication and other ways to balance out those things, right? While medication does help, I think the best thing you can do is get therapy. I think talking about things with people that are very understanding and can relate to your situation, I think that's the best way to work through things. But even then, you got to do it the right way. And see, that's the way that I've been trying to help my lady out. But like I said earlier, even though I think that may be the right way and my intentions are pure, it's not what she really needs from me. And when I do my next stream on Coach Eli 2, my lady sent me an article that just blew my mind. Baby, that article, I already sent you the topic of that stream. That article you sent me, it blew my mind. I'm like, this is perfect. It's almost like my woman sending me, an article to better understand her. I don't know if that was your intentions or not, baby. I think you were just recommended that, but I'm like, wow. Yeah, it was funny. My lady wanted some milk last night, right? And I was out of milk. So, I ran out to go get some milk. She was a little tired, so I said, yeah, I'll run out and grab some milk, right? And while I was out, I started getting all these text messages. My lady sent me like over 10 messages or over 10 links to future great topics for shows, right? And it became so quick and so excessive that my iPhone said, would you like to temporarily block this person? I'm not going to block my woman. That would be stupid. My iPhone thought my woman was spamming me. I can't even talk. My iPhone thought my woman was spamming me, right? That's how great technology has become. Anyway. Yeah, we're getting closer towards the end. I gotta say, folks, I'm feeling a lot more relaxed today. I mean, the last few days, my lady and I have had a lot to talk about and a lot of things to just continue sorting out between her stuff and my stuff. And, we've been talking a lot about the coaching business and the future of how we're going to run things. And I think what I'm going to do, because I've pretty much said as much about the topic as I'm going to say, I don't want to overdo it. I want to take this, portion, maybe the last 15, 20 minutes before I go off the air, as I get closer to the other side to exit the trail. If I can switch cameras, there we go. I want to take this moment to share some of the things we've come up with. I've kind of talked about it a little bit every now and then between some videos on this channel and my other channel, Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams. But here's what's going to happen, and it may even happen as soon as the next couple of days on this channel here. The very first thing that we decided to do is is make all of our live stream chats, and if we ever do premiere videos, like those are pre-recorded videos that are premiered with a live stream chat the first time they're released, even though they're pre-recorded. So whether it's a premiere chat or a live stream chat like you would see here, over the next couple days on my channel here that's already monetized, I'm going to be adding a 6th package. YouTube allowed us to start adding a 6th package for memberships. I'm going to add a $2.99 membership package to allow non-moderators to chat. So basically, in the next couple of days, once I get this approved through YouTube, it may even go through by tomorrow. My live streams are going to go to members only chat, and they're probably going to stay that way forever. And here's the reason why. Okay, no problem anybody watching the public live streams. But if you truly value my content to the point of where you want to ask some respectful questions and you're taking the content seriously, you're not going to have a problem paying $2.99 per month to chat in my live stream chats. Okay? So again, my streams and premiere pre-recorded videos are going to be public, but you're not going to be able to chat in the live stream chats unless you are a member. And I'm going to create a very, very, very cheap package, $2.99. For $2.99 per month on this channel, and once I get Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams monetized, for $2.99 each month, you'll be able to chat in the chat, right? And what that's going to further do is filter out trolls and haters, which we've already pretty much done a good job of doing that here, but it's going to practically eliminate trolls and haters, right? And the trolls and haters will come out and say, well, you're just killing your audience doing that. Nope, I'm targeting the right audience, because the right audience is not going to have a problem paying $3 a month, which is nothing, to chat in a chat, right? And what I can also do once I make it members only is right now, I've been moderating my chats pretty closely. I've been running a 45-second slow mode, right, to basically try to combat trolling as best as possible. When we go to members only chat or members only chats, we're going to turn that slow mode off. And here's the thing, does that mean that we may not get trolled? No, there are some trolls that will waste $3 just to take a stab at me, and that's fine. If you want to waste $3 and talk shit about me at $3 a pop, and you hate me that much to the point of where you want to talk shit about me all the time, it may cost you $100 to talk shit about me each month. Then hey, talk all the shit you want. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna listen to your shit unless you pay me. If you pay me, I'll listen to your shit for a little bit at least, right? Now, baby, what are your thoughts about that, baby? I know we talked about it, but that makes sense, right, babe? Respectfully, says NCS Queen. She was getting back to my lady earlier. Let me reset the chat, folks. I will be right back. Yes, it does, babe. At 4:57 p.m. Pacific. All right, cool. Thanks, babe. That's what we're going to do. In the past when I did this, I got a lot of shit from people saying, oh, you just want to get paid for people to chat. And you're never going to grow your channel this way. You're going to lose all your audience because of this. Well, you see, the people that were saying that back then were the trolls and haters that lost their access to talk shit at me for free, right? And this time around, I've learned everything. And I'm like, okay, let people talk all the shit they want, right? I'm moving forward, and slowly but surely the right people will be able to come into my chat and pay $3 a month to have a clean chat, to not have to deal with nasty shit, right? Said by other people, right? Now, here's the thing. You folks can also send super chats if you're not a member or a moderator. So some people might even send some super chats to talk smack every now and then. Well, just letting you know that, super chats and members they're still subject to the same community guidelines on YouTube, and they're still subject to the same personal guidelines I run on my channels, right? But again, I don't have a problem people talking shit about me, right? But if you're going to talk shit about me on my own platform, at least you're going to have to pay me for it. Right? You can go talk shit about me anywhere else. You can go talk shit about anyone anywhere else. But in my house, if you're going to talk shit about me, I'm either going to kick your ass out or I'm going to take your money. Why would anyone in their right mind, babe, allow anyone to talk shit about them for free? It's just stupid, right? Even if we're strong enough to laugh it off, right? But anyway. Oh, man. I will tell you, babe, and everyone else, when I take these 3.5-mile walks, those endorphins are kicking in, and just all the stress is gone. And the next time we see each other, babe, I'm going to tell you this. Especially after I do that show, and I'm sure you're going to watch it. After I do that show, and deep within I better understand now how to help you with what you need, even though my intentions were to always help you in the right way. See, it's not about what the guy thinks is the right way to help his lady. It's what the lady really needs, right? And even for us seasoned veterans like myself that understand women as best as possible, right? We still don't know everything about women. And women's emotions change all the damn time. Every woman is different too. Every woman's wants and needs are different, or is different, right? And now, whenever my woman would get triggered at me and saying you're not listening to me, when I actually thought I was, it would kind of trigger me a little bit, furthering the triggering of her, right? Being hot and cold, right? Both of us, right? I now understand, after she sent me this article, and when I do the show on Coach Eli 2, you'll get it more. I now better understand what she means by you're not listening to me, right? I wasn't listening to her in the way that she wanted to be listened to. I was listening to her in the way I thought she needed to be listened to. I wasn't trying to be selfish. I just really didn't understand. And again, because I'm 48 years old. I'm very experienced at this shit, right? And even to us seasoned veterans, are the best of us that have experience with women and dating and stuff, we still don't know everything. And I'm not ashamed to come out here and say that. And that's why I have a woman like her to present articles like this, and that's why she's my business partner, right? I'm not sitting here trying to blow smoke up her ass or anyone else's. I'm really honestly blown the fuck away by this article. I can't wait to do it. It may happen sooner than you think. Who knows? Please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 10 minutes or less. We're getting towards the end of the trail. You know what, baby? I'll tell you this. Not doing my walks for one day. Let me flip it back on me. Not doing my walks for one day. It really affects my attitude. You see how much it affects my attitude, babe? Not getting my walks in, not kicking in those endorphins. That's how much walking and exercise and just getting out there and loosening up the muscles and the mind, the body and the soul, that's how much it means to me, and it affects me. And that's why I love hiking so much and love just being out there and being physically active, you know? Puts me in a better mood, right? At some point, I'm going to be revamping my fitness series. I did a fitness series on my former channel. Years ago. And I want to revamp that and make it better. And give people some, easy tips that they can, start doing immediately and turn into a habit, right? Because the key to getting healthy and fit and staying healthy and fit and having a good attitude and just feeling good is to start your exercise regimen and make it a habit. Make it a part of your life. I've integrated this as a part of my life. I've integrated it as a part of my business, right? I mean, I'm killing two birds with one stone here. Two birds with one stone. I'm talking about a topic with you folks, live on the air, and I'm engaging you, and I'm also getting exercise at the same time. And years ago when I first started this, I came up with a cool name, Walking with Purpose, right? I am walking with purpose. It's like a dual purpose. I want to stay healthy and fit, and I talk about topics that can help you identify your purpose and take the best path of least resistance to accomplish your purpose and continue making progress, furthering your purpose ahead. Much better. Oh man, I feel like a night and day difference after this walk. Even just taking one day off, yesterday, Sunday, from my walk, with the amount of work that my lady and I have had to work on to get our stuff together for our future, like not walking yesterday, man. Right now, all that stress and tension is just going away. Just gonna take a second here. Once again, folks, please get your questions, comments, concerns. As always, my famous exit stage left move, showing you the public shore, San Francisco Bay Trail sign. I'll tell you folks, when I was younger, I keep talking about this, and I will keep mentioning this until everyone understands it. When I was younger, I used to get so triggered, so angry. I used to be so hot and cold, right? And not only did it repel people from wanting to be around me, it drained the shit out of me. That negative emotional energy is so draining. And when you're younger, you can tolerate it more because you're young and you're more limber, right? You can take a lot more stress. When you get older, like being at 48, I can't take it as much anymore, Like I just try to avoid it at all costs, right? Because now, at this point in my life, I'm going to be 50 in a year and a half. And like right now, I got to start really taking even more better care of myself because I could be at risk for heart disease or heart attacks and stuff like that. And again, people don't take this seriously. Stress is the leading cause of death. It is. Or heart attack, which can kill you, right? Stress is the leading cause of that, right? Excuse me. Sorry. Spitting live on the air. It's those damn allergies. That's why I try to avoid any type of negative emotion or negative energy. At this point in my life, I want none of that. And that's why whoever I'm with, my lady, my family, friends, whenever they try to bring in negative energy, and I know for the most part the people I care for are not doing it on purpose, even if they do it subconsciously, which is what happens usually, I try to diffuse it and help them diffuse it as quickly as possible because my body doesn't have the tolerance for it anymore. And quite frankly, I just want to live a drama-free life. But anyway, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. We are at 76 minutes, an hour and 26 minutes. Wow, I'm getting faster and faster. Sorry, an hour and 16 minutes. Sorry, my fault. Hour and 16 minutes. I've been blitzing through this 3.5 mile trail. I'm getting faster every day. Of course, I didn't stop at all, and there was somebody at the observation deck, so I, didn't go up there, and I just kind of turned and burned. But wow, I'm almost back to normal. I'm almost back to normal with the sciatica. I'm feeling good today. All right, let me go off the air, reset the chat, and I'll be right back one final time. All right. Thank you to my lady, respectfully, maturely, and professionally for being here. Thank you to NCS Queen for being here. And anyone else that was watching behind the scenes, go and subscribe to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams at youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored, or just go into Nightbot, go to the section where Nightbot shared the link every 7 minutes. If you're here on the replay, go below the description and you will find Coach Eli 2 there, a link to it, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications because you're not going to want to miss the very next show I do on there. And the shows after that, it's just getting really hot and heavy over there in a good way. Have a great one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.